For someone who's looking to start earning an income online with a site like Upwork.com, make sure you seek out the relevant information. I'm someone who spent over $100,000 on this website in the past couple of years, and I know what I look for when I'm starting to hire people or buy services. So, this is going to be the video for you if you're looking to get into Upwork for 2022 to 2023. Now, currently, I'm just on the main page to show you guys exactly what this website is. Essentially, if you don't know what this website is, it's just a website that people use for professional contracts. Now, think about it like this. It's essentially like Fiverr, but with people that actually know what they're doing, and there's easier ways to vet people for their jobs, and it's much, much better in terms of the quality that you'll find. So if you're someone that, on the other side is someone that's hiring and you're trying to find people, Upwork is far better in terms of quality content, whereas Fiverr is for one-off jobs. Now, the thing about Upwork that's great is that I know exactly what I'm looking for when I'm hiring people, and I'm going to show you a couple of the jobs and a couple of the people I did hire and exactly why I hired them and how beginners can get better responses and more work. So there's two main ways that you can actually earn money on Upwork.com. So let me show you those right. You guys can see right now, there are two main ways. One of the first ways that you can actually earn money on Upwork.com is by gig work. Now, if you aren't familiar with this, you probably should be if you're in the gig economy, because essentially what I'm looking at right now is something that is very, very similar to Fiverr. As you guys can see right now, this actually does have a very similar layout to Fiverr because it's got the gigs laid out here. And then when you click on these gigs right here, as they should load up, you can see that you can actually buy them on a 3-tiered system with the starter, the advanced, and of course the standard tiers. Now, of course, you can compare these tiers if you click that button and you go down here. And what's cool about this is that you can see all of the projects that they work on. Now, what's also good about this, if you're actually going to be using Upwork, one of the first things that I do recommend having if you want to get hired and you want to get more jobs is to have a professional picture taken or a nice picture taken. Now, you might not have a very good background, but you can see there that what this person has actually done is they've actually edited out the background. You can see that on his profile account, even if, let's say, for example, he was in a background which wasn't that nice, on his account right here, he's added a nice background right here and he's become verified, okay? What's also good is that he's also got a large percentage of job success. This is one of the key things for me. When I'm looking to hire someone or when I'm looking to even purchase work, I need to see what their job success is. If their job success is lower than 90 to 80%, or in fact, if it's lower than 90%, I will not even consider that person. That's because you have to understand that as someone that hires on Upwork, I am looking to not waste time or money. And if someone is going to fail at my job, they're going to waste my time and they're going to waste my money. Now, what am I looking for when I think, okay, this is going to be someone that I'm going to hire? So if you're using Upwork as someone that wants to get a job, here's what you need to do. When you're looking to have your CV, this is a mistake that so many people make. I'm going to show you guys one of my jobs and I'm going to show you why I declined so many people. Let's take a look at a recent job post that I did and why what you're currently looking at is the archive tab. So what you're currently looking at is the archive tab, and I actually needed someone to work on one of my media channels for some video editing. Okay, now this wasn't a very hard job to do, but I'm going to show you guys why I decided to archive these. Now, essentially what happens when you archive these is that it basically means I've given these people a thumbs down and they will not be considered for any work at all. So if you're a beginner, you need to listen to this. One thing that I actually did in my job applications was I wrote them something very special. Okay, so let me show you guys how I actually posted my job application. Okay, my job application was essentially like this. It was a bunch of words. Okay, in fact, let me do that on the screen. This is going to get a bit bright, so just, prepare yourself. Okay, so I had a bunch of words, okay, and then at the very bottom, I said, if you see this right here, please add this at your application because it will meant that I know that you've read through the thorough application, and I put just a special word there, okay? Now, I only will ever consider people who apply to my job that have that special word, okay? That's because I know that these people have taken the time out to read through my job description. If you are someone who is applying to a job and you haven't read through the entire brief and you've just simply blasted out your CV to a bunch of different jobs, you're not going to be earning money even as a beginner, guys. The people who succeed straight away aren't going to be blasting out the CV to as many people as possible. The thing you need to do as a beginner is you need to be very, very specific with your work. Understand that on Upwork, we are not looking for generalist people. We are looking for people who specialize in one niche. So I would argue that sometimes when I find people, okay, who, for example, do stuff like this, and there's no hate, guys. Like, it's obviously a very cutthroat world. If I have a job application and, I'm looking for someone, even I've hired beginners before and they've done completely well because, they've just had certain things, I'm not going to consider people that don't read the brief. The second thing, guys, okay, is that if you apply for the job and your spelling's bad, then I understand that there's going to be a language barrier, okay? And as someone who speaks fluent English, I'm not going to be able to understand that, okay? So maybe use Google Translate, maybe use something, okay, that is able to read that job and get someone to write out a very coherent message. The next thing, guys, okay, and I know this might seem like a bit weird, but this is what you need. And trust me, guys, if you're looking to earn money on this website, okay, and if you're looking to actually get hired and start making money, this one thing, trust me, will change everything for you guys. You need to do, okay, a profile overhaul, and what you need to do is you need to be 100% a specialist, guys. So this is an example of someone who is I would just never hire, okay? And the reason I'd never hire this person is because you can see that what they've done is they are a designer, a graphic designer, and motion graphic designer. Now you might be thinking, wait, am I penalizing someone for being a graphic designer and motion designer? No, what I'm saying is when you make your account, you need to say, I specialize in one topic, okay? So you need to have something that says like this, okay? Because I saw someone who did graphic design, photo editing, they did pretty much everything. That's not good. I don't want someone who does everything on my projects. I want someone who does one thing and they do it like an absolute maniac, because that means that they are probably going to be the 100% best at that job. So that is what you need to do. Another thing you need to do, guys, is you need to have work. If you're a beginner, okay, and you're applying for a job, if you don't have relevant work, you aren't likely to get any job. Even if you are applying for these gigs, okay, and you make stuff like this, you aren't going to get people that are buying this without seeing your work first, guys, because you have to understand that if I'm going to pay someone for something, it doesn't really make sense for me to do that if I haven't seen any of their previous work, okay? So if you're a beginner on Upwork, do some previous work. If you want to edit some videos for fun, if you want to make some friendly graphics for fun, do that for fun and then add it to your portfolio. It doesn't need to be commission based. Use some of the time that you do have to build up a portfolio of work that you can show people. That way, when it comes time to apply for a job, you can say, okay, my work is very specific to this job and I can show you exactly what I've had. That's why these ones are at the top. You have to understand that when you apply for a job, if you're someone who's a beginner, okay, your application is likely going to be down the bottom because you have 0% earned, okay? That is what's going to happen when you're a beginner. And if you are in that scenario, it's going to be much harder for you. So what you need to do is you need to apply to as many jobs as possible, make them as specific as possible. And what you need to do is you need to have the most relevant work possible, guys. And you need to make sure that the message that you give them is as much detail as possible that is tailored to their brief. So if my brief is talking about AI and crypto, you need to say that I recently, went to this AI convention where there was crypto there. I recently read this book. Even if you make some of it up, not in a bad way, but just show them that you know exactly what you're talking about. Show them that you are perfect. So this was the job that I posted for those of you guys who are, debating whether or not I'm being honest. Of course, as you guys can see, I've spent 100K. I've got 41 people that are active. My hourly rate is, 33, dollars or whatever. So yeah, definitely understand, okay, that I'm someone who's used this. Okay, I'm someone who's definitely used this quite a lot. I've hired a bunch of people from this. I've hired 2 people that are working on this right now. Just understand, okay, that currently you need to make sure that if you are a beginner, guys, that you specialize in reach and you make sure that it is tailored to that person, okay? If someone came to me with the perfect application that was very tailored to mine, I would hire them over someone that's earned more, because I know that a lot of these top earners are just looking to add to their earning pool and just make more money rather than having one dedicated person. So if you're a beginner, build up your portfolio, make sure that you have a really nice profile picture like this one. This is actually really good. If the background is a bit bad, just add some colors in it, because of course sometimes it can be a bit confusing. Make sure that you actually write something really decently. If you want to use ChatGPT, write with ChatGPT, guys. I would actually recommend that, guys. Put the job description in ChatGPT and write something that, does an outreach to every single one that you can absolutely do. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, it gave you some, kind of help on how you can actually get started as a beginner, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And if you are someone that, wants to sign up for Upwork and, have a bit of questions, comment down below, and I'll see what you have to say.